Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to the video. So today I'm going to be showing you guys the Japanese 20 pop men at arm build. This is going to be part of the July build orders for the builder document and available for subs to the stream, of course. But I'm going to go ahead and actually show it to you in a tutorial format right now. And it's going to be me against the AI, just going through the build order and showing the timings that you should hit and pretty much what the close to perfect build order looks like. And if I make any mistakes, I'll show you how I adapt. We'll see what happens. And just real quick, this builder is very, very strong and very, very aggressive, but it is hard to do and it is hard to perfect. So I will say this is more for like advanced in terms of builders. You don't have to be like a 2K player to do it, but it does need a lot more practice than your average builder and your basic builder. So just keep that in mind. And the reason for this is that this builder requires a lot of timing attacks. Like you're doing a regular men-at-arm archer build, but you're doing a 2-pop earlier. So you need to make use of those 50 seconds earlier to actually do damage and be in the right place at the right time. So if you're more of like a newer player, I recommend staying away from this. But if you're more of a, you don't mind practicing like 20 to 30 times and then like executing builder and you have like a decent background in playing the game and whatnot, then this is definitely a very aggressive builder and very powerful one to pick up. So, and the one thing I like about it is that it's Japanese. It's not like a meta civ, and people might not know how to play against it or might not know what to expect, okay? So keep that in mind here. But without further ado, enough talking, let's hop into it. And of course, it's gonna be part of the subathon, so make sure to sub it up here. And let me minimize OBS and get started. So first things first, we're gonna go ahead and queue villagers and do a house on each, or a house with 2 and 1 villager, the standard stuff. And the builder stands out exactly like any builder with 6 on sheep. And I get a lot of questions asking why 6 on sheep, and the simple answer to that is that it's the minimum amount of villagers that can keep the TC production going until you get your boar. You could do 5, but 5 would require a lot of force dropping. And sometimes if you get like a late sheep or something, then it's not going to be enough. So 6 is definitely the the perfect number and the smoothest number. And I'd only recommend altering that if you have a very good reason for it. I'm not going to pick any deer because you don't need deer for this build order, but as usual, deer will help. But I will show you guys how to do it with absolutely no deer. So if you have terrible deer or if you have no deer access, then you can still pull off this build order no problem. Okay, I don't want anyone to be dependent on deer and feel like they need to pull those guys in to have any good success. Alright, so that's 6 on sheep. The next up, we're going to go for 3 on wood. So if you guys remember my standard men-at-arm build, it's going to be regular men-at-arm build is 4 to woods. But Japanese, you have amazing wood bonus and amazing wood savings. So we're going to go 3 to wood here, which I think is definitely good for Japanese, regardless if you want to do 22 or 21, because it gets you more food. So you can do like, if you do like 21 pop or 22 pop, you just have more food for like a 4th man arm for some reason, or something like that. But this is the only way to do the 20 pop man arm is to actually go 3 to wood, okay? Thought I'd give a little bit of background because I want to give as much explanation here to why we're doing certain things as opposed to just what they are, because what they are, we already have that for the builder document. And I'm sure after this subathon, we're going to have a lot of new subs to the stream. And you guys are going to check out the Discord by typing !Discord in the chat and going over to our builder section and getting access to all our 20 plus builders in there. But for the time being, I will just showcase this one, of course. So bringing that first boar. Next up, we're going to go house and berries. Try to wall with the house if you can, maybe with that stone. We'll see. Get that boar in. You don't have to do this, but I like to do it. You can just hit the boar normally, though. And now that we've scouted our map, well, I'm going to do one more tour, actually, because I'm missing my 3rd gold. And as I always say, always make sure to find 3 golds, 2 stones, and have a good idea of where you want to wall your map before moving out to explore your opponent. That's the general rule that I live by. And, it's not a fact. Other pros might recommend something else, but that's personally how I like to roll with my Dark Ages. Alright, next up, we're going to pick up the 2nd boar now. Okay, so after 3 on berries, pick up the 2nd boar. If you feel like you can wait and pick up the 2nd boar after sending a 4th, you can, if it's a really close boar. But usually, you want to pick it up at this time. So yeah, here I just found the 3rd gold, and now you're going to go 1 more to berries. Okay, pulling in that 2nd boar. And if you do come, I'd rather you come in like 5 seconds earlier with the boar than a second or 2 late. Because a second too late means idle time, but earlier just means you can like dance with the boar a little bit. There it is. And then in worst case, if you don't feel comfortable dancing, you can easily just take the boar a tad early and have a bit of rot. Anyway, Now we're going to go ahead and make a house and then a barracks. And then I sent one village during the whole boar escapade to the food under my town center. Next up is going to be a house, then a barracks. And this is exactly perfect timing to where I'd just be able to make men-at-arms. And then next two will go to gold. And I should be able to click up right after that. Oh, no, you gotta stay there. But loom and then after that I click. Okay. And if I'm missing some food, I can force drop the berries as well. There we go. And a pretty perfect build. If you have trouble, so one thing I want to mention here is if you have trouble with getting like the perfect build down, you can't click up at this time 20 pop, feel free to not send these two villas to gold, like the last two villas. Feel free to put them on food first, and then only after you click up, send them to gold. Because that can get you an extra like 10, 20 food, just having those two gathering food while you're getting loom and stuff. Maybe even 30 food. So just a little something I thought I'd mention there. But if you do it perfectly, like in this case, with no tier, you always should have the right amount of food required. And then some tricks like hitting the boar, I'm going to do another house here. Hitting the boar with the TC can help with getting a little bit more food. So anyway, now we're going to actually send 2 more to the first wood line. And then we're going to wait a little bit and then send another 4 to this wood line. You only need 9 total for the Japanese build loader. You only need 9 on wood instead of the regular 10 in feudal age, because you're saving so many resources, so much wood in that early game that you actually don't mind just being on 9 on wood. And the same is true for some stuff like Mali, for example. And then this villager on the frontier is actually going to be responsible for, so I can go here with the villagers. Okay, that one's low, but it's fine. And then as soon as you get 3, immediately attack. Immediately attack. And notice you're going out across the map like 60-70% feudal. You have to immediately attack now because it's a timing attack. And remember that. It's a timing attack, and it's very important to go as fast as possible across the map. I guess here we want to do a range, so we'll just wait there. And I'm against the AI, so I'm not going to fight, but I'm going to show you guys exactly what time you're arriving. Look, I mean, we're kind of far. I guess this is average distance. And I'm arriving pretty much at his base as soon as I get to feudal age. If you're a little bit late and you're there as soon as you get men-at-arms, that's fine as well. So, boom, right here, I get men-at-arms and I'm at his base. If I can afford double bit X, I'll get it. If it's a bit tight, you can delay it a little bit, no problem. I do have it as the next step of the build loader, because truly it is the next step here. So we do want to pick it up as fast as we can. There it is. And then after that, we're going to seed a couple farms and make a few archers from the range, all while walling up our map with this villager. And it's very simple. So now you can attack your opponent, do whatever you can pretty much, get a few farms down. And this is the AIs. I'm not going to bully him too much, but I'll just show you what you can do with your men-at-arms. Pick up the villagers, and that's all that. Cool, so now as soon as the range is up, we're going to actually get some archers down. And as you see, it's a very tight builder. You notice me force dropping quite a bit, and this is why I say it's an advanced builder, because I have no idle time. So it is a perfect build if you do it perfectly. You don't have any idle time. It's considered not anything risky about it, but it's hard to do, and it's not an easy beginner thing to pull off. So anyway, I'm gonna now have to send a few to my, sorry, I kind of messed it up. I need to go 5 to gold to even me making some mistakes here. But if you follow the builder document enough, you'll do it better than me even, because I do have the perfect number there. Yeah, just gonna seed a few bills there, and once you get 5 to gold from the TC, now it's all about seeding farms from the TC, and we'll get a blacksmith when we can. In fact, we can even just go get a blacksmith on the other side to start walling off here. That's something I like to do, and it's a good way to secure your map a bit faster, to start walling with 2 villagers. And this is a good time to do so with the blacksmith. So as soon as you get fletching, we're going to move out with our archers. At this point, our men-at-arms will die, so let's just go ahead and delete them. If they're still alive, that's fine. Generally speaking, they're going to be dead because you're going to use them and your opponent will kill them off, or you'll trade them for villagers or whatnot. If they're still alive, your opponent's walled or something, use them to help break in when your archers attack as well, okay? So I'm going to delete them because generally speaking, you lose them. I'll reiterate. But if they're still alive, use them to help break in to your opponent's base when the archers come to join the party. And as you see, my walls are coming pretty well along here. And it's 12 minutes. I said fully walled by 15, 16 minutes seems like a good timing for that. And now we're about to get fletching. I'm still missing some food, which is definitely normal. Again, we're skipping horse collar here because food is so tight. But as soon as you get fletching, feel free to move out with your archers and try to attack your opponent here. And just for the time being, just seeding farms. Any villa comes out, we'll go to Strat Victory, and then I seed a farm right after. And it's so similar. Like, I do this with every builder. At some point in the build, I'm doing this. And I'm going to pick up fletching and immediately attack. And you have 5, 6, 4 archers, whatever it is. Just attack when you have fletching. You can wait. It's maybe a little bit safer to wait until your fletching kicks in before moving out. But, you know, maybe moving out earlier can help you get a bit faster attack. Because now I'm already halfway across the map, and fletching is in, and I'm attacking my opponent. So this is what I like to call like the first wave of attack, and I'm behind this I'm full wall in my base. So at this point you should be fully walled, so something like fully walled around this point of the builds, or in the next 2 minutes you need to be fully walled, because your army is really strong now, but then in like 2 minutes you're only on one range. You're not gonna have that much army. So you pick up some vills, harass your opponent, whatever, good stuff. And I'm gonna back up just because the AI. But if it's against human, I'm attacking as much as possible, of course. And the one thing I'd recommend is keep making archers, of course. Try to preserve your archer numbers as much as possible. That's definitely the biggest thing I'd recommend here. Simply because archers scale so well into Castlage with the crossbow tech. And now my bear is going to run out. We're going to see 2 of them will go to food. And I think that I said the other 2 will go to woods. Yeah. So 2 make farms and the other 2 will go to wood. So as they run out, I'll just do that. And then with these guys, when I have around, I think 18 on foods. And I have around 18 on foods. We're gonna start, so these 2 will go to wood, and then one of them will make a farm. I should get 10, yeah, there it is. And I have around 18 on food, so I'll make 1 more farm. I'm gonna start sending to gold, because we wanna get up to 9 on gold to play 2 ranges in Castlage. So that is the plan. Oh, there it is, okay, fantastic. Cool. Okay, so this one more farm here? No, yeah, this one more farm, and then after that we go to gold. Fantastic, there it is. Alright, then after that we go to gold, and then as soon as we have four more to gold, we'll be able to click up. I'm pretty certain of it. This villager is a bit of an oddball. I don't know exactly what to do with her. I guess she could just make a farm. Or you just go to woods. You just send her to wood as well. Yeah, let's just send her to wood, whatever. And this is just her builder. At this point, we're going to make our second range. She's farther, so I'm going to use her. I'm going to switch there. So she goes to gold, and then she becomes my builder. You're allowed to do these things in the build. You're allowed. So again, 2 more villas, and we'll easily be able to click up. And how do I know this? It's just because it's a builder, and it's tried and tested. Like, it's not difficult to get early game starts. And every time people try to tell me, like, oh, but you can't just memorize the builder, you have to learn the game. I agree, you have to understand the game. But look how easy it is to get such good uptimes by just memorizing a build and learning a build. Like, it's perfect. No one can calculate that. No one can calculate that without having prior knowledge. So even pros that don't have, that don't use builders, they know builders in their mind. Even if they don't take the time to memorize them, they know builders in their mind, and they're able to hit similar times. But with something that's a bit new, and we're getting a horse collar, then gold mining upgrade, and then armor upgrade. Prioritize armor if you're fighting, but prioritize gold mining upgrade if you're not fighting, and then horse collar. And then any farm that runs out here, I didn't actually put this in the text, but you can just put it to woods now, because you don't really need that much more foods. But at this point, I'd rather you guys be the judge, to be honest, because if you want more foods for whatever reason, then reseed the farm. If you don't want more food, put them to woods, okay? Very simple. Don't touch 9 on gold. 9 on gold is perfect. Unless you're adding a stable or something extra, then add a 10th or add an 11th. But 9 on gold is perfect for 2 range production and a bit of extra float of gold, in case you want to do some monks or something like that. So don't touch the 9 on gold, but the food farm ratio you can mess around depending on what you need. And you guys be the judge of that, you know? But as far as this early game build, it's been perfect so far, and I'm going to go until I get an extra 2 TCs. And again, I'm massing inside my base, but feel free to push out and attack. Feel free to fight, no problem. The main thing you have to remember, though, is you want to fight as soon as you get to Castlage. You want to be fighting with your crossbow and bodkin. It's the biggest spike in the game, pretty much, to have crossbow faster than your opponent. Maybe Arbalest spike is just as similar. But having crossbow faster than your opponent, you'll kill anything he has in feudal age, 100%. Even skirmishers, you kill them. Full upgrade scouts, when you have a good amount of crossbows like this, you will win. So now you get crossbow, bodkin, bowsaw. That's a trio of upgrades. And now 2 TCs. Where do you get the TCs? Take any villagers, I take 4 farms, I replace them. So I take 4 from the farms, I put a TC gather point exactly where I took them from. And then I want to get this gold here, or this gold here, TC. It's a bit awkward because I have to delete a house, but I'll still do it. And I'll get a TC on the gold. So another wood line and a secondary gold. That's a perfect 2 TC setup here. And this way, I will have a gold in case this gets pushed off. If I need extra gold, I'll send here. I have to continue making crossbow, by the way. If I need extra gold, I can just send from that TC. One of those always making houses and a wall and whatever she can do. Monastery, just a builder, a flexible villager. And of course, you attack your opponent now. And now you can go back to seeding farms here because you have horse color and you're in the castle age. And you need the food again to make villagers from 3 TCs. Feel free to leave some walls and clear up your base and stuff. And yeah, we're killing anything in Field Age. We'll kill anyways. You don't have to really watch that. And that it is. 3 TC production, 2 range, crossbows, the perfect Japanese mid game here. Get wheelbarrow whenever you want. Now is a good time even. No problem. Get wheelbarrow. This is not part of the build. This guy can just continue taking woods. He can make farms. It's not part of the build. This is just freestyling right now. So at this point, the build ends here, and I give you guys a few pointers as to what you can do next. I'll just tell you them. So, you know, going for university for ballistics is an option. Going for monastery and relics is an option. Adding a stable is decent, although I don't really like it that much at this point. Adding siege workshop is really good for some siege pressure, especially if your opponent is pushing you or if he's going skirmishers. And then 3 TC booming and then adding pikes later if your opponent is heavy knights is an option. Or 3 TC booming and just going for arbalest and skirmishers if you're against archer is totally fine as well. But this is like the perfect situation you can get to in Castle Age with Japanese. And you were the one attacking in the Feudal Age. You were not the guy just walling up and hoping to get here. You were the guy attacking and executing a perfect build behind it. And getting to where you're very comfortable in the mid game with 2 range reduction, 3 TCs, and booming into a Japanese late game. So thank you all for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. I think it was a really good showcase of an aggressive builder that lets you put the pressure, but also keep the economy safe at home. It's a hard one, so feel free to practice it a lot before going into ranked games with it. But if you do perfect it, I promise you, you're going to get a lot of wins in the early game if you know how to do damage to the men at arms. So it takes time to perfect it, but once you do, you will get easy wins in the early game. And I've died to plenty of players in the top level who did this in Feudal Age because I didn't see it coming, lost a few villages, and the game just ends right then and there because the Japanese follow-up is simply too strong. So that's going to be it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and sub it up on Twitch. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, enjoy the build loader. And definitely be sure to check out my build loader document with build loaders exactly like this, available for subs to the stream. Links will be below in YouTube to both my Twitch and my Discord. You gotta be subbed to my Twitch channel. And if you guys are on Twitch, feel free to sub it up for the subathon and for the Discord build orders. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.